passion is flying. I took that up a number of years ago, and one thing I find from flying is that you learn how much you don't know. And so it's very, very important that you follow checklists and things like that, always being prepared. And that's something that I think is very similar to financial planning. All too often we get caught up in discussions about fees and performance and other things, and we're taking our eye off the ball. Clients should be focused on that long-term goal, which is, am I going to be okay? A financial plan is not a static thing. It's not a document that you create, something that you put down on paper and say, here, Mr. and Mrs. Client, this is yours. It's a continual process. So I focus a lot on building their financial plan and working with them to make sure that they are continually on track. The ideal person that fits with me is somebody who is probably a little bit older, someone in their 50s or early 60s. That's the kind of person who I'm more focused on because I'm in a similar boat, and really helping those people, making sure that they understand that they are going to be okay. The private wealth management is actually based upon you as a consultant, not as a client. You have to qualify for it, and there are certain standards that the company has set, and you have to maintain those standards year in and year out. One of the greatest things that I think we do for clients is we help them answer a very basic question is, am I going to be okay? Can I retire? Is my estate in order? Are my children, are my spouse going to be protected if something happens to me? There was a situation where there were some clients who were about to retire from Flora, Canada, and it was a couple, and they had spent a great deal of time reviewing with me their financial plan, and we went through absolutely everything. We talked about their incomes, their expenses, their planned and anticipated expenses. We talked about how their assets were going to be set up and how we're going to draw down on their assets. And probably the greatest compliment I've ever received from anybody was a quote from them saying, I don't know how anybody who is about to retire can do so and make that decision without going through this process. It's the ultimate compliment when somebody tells us that we understand what you're doing and we are confident that we can do what we want to do based upon the analysis and the process that you've taken us through.